So what's going on, guys? It's your boy Cali Q here, and today, man, I want to talk about the JRPGs that have impacted you the most. If you follow my channel, you would know how much that this genre means to me, and you would know that we've made a community of others sharing how impactful JRPGs has been to their gaming journey. Well, today, man, you know I got you. I got a very special video planned with other content creators that I love and respect. They will be joining me on this video to share their story about the JRPG that has impacted them the most, whether that's through their gaming career or just life lessons in general. So I hope that you guys have a great time on this video. Be sure to check out each and every single one of these creators. We all got to look out for each other, man, and that's why I wanted to bring us all together to share our stories about the JRPG that made a huge impact on us. Be sure to share yours down in the comment section below, and let's go ahead and jump into what some of my friends have to say about JRPGs.
Hello all, I'm CommRio, and despite my love for RPGs of all kinds, I got into the genre pretty late in life. When I first got my 2DS, I was looking for good games for it that weren't the standard Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon games, and I came across a really well-received game, played the demo, and fell in love. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I would not even be here making videos or collaborating with the wonderful CaliQ Games without Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening is a strategy RPG and the 13th game in the mainline Fire Emblem series. What captured my attention about the game was the setting, the characters, the presentation, and the strategic gameplay. I loved the medieval setting of the distinct lands we went to across the game, which also gave great variety to the maps on which we battled. The characters were a lovable group that I still consider one of the strongest casts in Fire Emblem history, from the spunky Princess Lissa to the taciturn swordsman Longku. Every character has their charms if you dig beneath the surface. Yes, even the ones you don't have a favorable first impression of. The strategic gameplay had me hooked from the demo. I loved the pleasure of figuring out how to defeat my enemies and seeing the odds turn slowly in my favor. The animated cutscenes are still absolutely brilliant, the action and animation is powerful, and the performances from the whole cast are excellent. The music is also amazing. There are other Fire Emblem games I think have stronger overall soundtracks than Awakening now, but there is still no game that has ever made me feel as moved by a single mission as Awakening managed. That chapter has the perfect convergence of a powerful story moment, a desperate battle challenge, grand and moving music, and an incredible atmospheric setting. That moment taught me just how brilliant game stories and RPGs especially could be, and it set up my love of the genre. I now know more about the flaws of Fire Emblem Awakening, but even still, it's a great game and has impacted me more than any other game I've ever played. I'm not even the only one to have that experience, as I have heard firsthand from those who watched my retrospective video on the game. Fire Emblem Awakening was my gaming renaissance. All of the other RPGs I've played since are due to Fire Emblem Awakening, so there is no game more worthy of the title of the JRPG that impacted me most.
My personal pick for this video is going to be Suikoden 2 for the PlayStation. Now, when I first came across this game, I've already had experience with the Suikoden series before, with the 3rd and 4th entries, but at that point in time, I never actually got the chance to play the 2nd entry. It's funny in retrospect because I really didn't know what to expect, and when I saw the 2D graphics, I immediately didn't have high hopes for it, especially since my experience with JRPGs were always in 3D, so I actually had a pretty dumb bias towards 2D style games back in the day. But little did I know, man, this would become one of the most impactful JRPGs that I would ever play. There was never a single dull moment I had when playing this incredible game. I loved exploring through every city and searching for any tiny hints of potential recruitable characters that I can have join my army. I was hooked seeing the big bad Luca Blight be such an absolute menace, never letting anything or anyone stopping him from fulfilling his own selfish desires. I also couldn't begin to tell you the amount of times I would just casually walk around towns listening to the beautifully composed music that just completely enchanted. Then of course there's the extremely fun combat system where you can have up to 6 different characters on screen that you could command and watch as they all simultaneously attack the enemies, which still to this day is so incredibly satisfying to watch. Suikoden 2 wasn't just a fun experience though. It was also an enlightening journey that touched on so many things I had thought before, but never knew how to tackle such things. It taught me about the nuances of having strong clashes of ideologies and beliefs that sometimes what you see as the right choice can be seen as wrong and unjustified to others. It taught me about the value of overcoming your struggles through the connections of friends and family. It even demonstrates just how much grief, despair, and hatred that can be created from the seemingly endless warfare. Suikoden 2 showed me that conflict isn't always about being on the side of good or evil. Sometimes it's about people choosing the path that they believe is right and justified. This is what makes this game so special to me. It gave me perspective and context to the deep dilemmas that happen when you are ultimately forced to create the path that you want to walk on, while also giving me moments of comfort and support to strive for what you believe in the darkest of times.
So there's a lot of JRPGs that come to mind when it comes to what impacted my life, but ever since I was growing up playing through all the Yakuza games, and even in recent times with Yakuza 7 and Yakuza 8, watching Kiryu and Ichiban go through their journeys has taught me many things throughout my life. The Yakuza series is a gritty crime genre set in the underworld of Tokyo, has profoundly, I say, impacted my life in many ways I never anticipated. Through the captivating narratives of KazakTheGamingVagabond and Ichiban Kasuga, I've discovered valuable life lessons that have shaped me into a better person. KazakTheGamingVagabond, the stoic protagonist of the early games, has taught me the importance of loyalty and honor. His unwavering commitment to his family, and even in the face of adversity, inspired me to prioritize my relationships and uphold my values. Through Kazuya, I learned that true strength lies not in physical prowess, but in the courage to stand by one's beliefs. Now there's Ichiban Kasuga, the protagonist of the more recent games, introduced me to the concept of redemption and second chances. His journey from a minor criminal to being homeless and outright being the savior of Yokohama has demonstrated that even those who have made mistakes can find purpose and meaning in life. Ichiban's unwavering optimism and ability to find hope in the darkest of times have encouraged me to approach challenges with a positive mindset. Beyond their individual stories, both Kazuya and Ichiban have shown me the value of perseverance and resilience. Their struggles against overwhelming odds have taught me that setbacks are a natural part of life, and that is essential to keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult things may seem. The Yakuza series has not only entertained me, but has also provided me with invaluable life lessons. Through the experiences of Kazuya Kiryu and Ichiban Kasuga, I have learned the importance of loyalty, honor, redemption, perseverance, and as well as resilience. These lessons have helped me to become a better person and have made a lasting impact on my life.
Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaiser here, and thank you KazakTheGamingVagabond Games for allowing me to be in collab. It was an absolute pleasure. With that said, let's talk about a JRPG that has impacted through my life, and that would have to be Nier Automata, as that game was currently as standing as my very first JRPG back in 2018, which is where I got into JRPGs, believe it or not. And that game blew me away, as was nothing like I ever played beforehand. Everything from the rather bleak but interesting and melancholic atmosphere, to the wonderful story and cast of characters, to the very fantastic music, and just the general tone and style that Yoko Taro has provided for this game, on top of also having a pretty solid combat system from Platinum Games, and truly just some very heartbreaking and emotional twists and turns that really kept me intrigued about this game. Truly an outstanding title, so much so that thanks to this I became a JRPG fan through games like Kingdom Hearts and the Tale series. But Nier Automata would always have a special place in my heart, as I even bought it on, like, say, both PC, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. So that would have to be my pick. Still hoping we do get a follow-up to Nier Automata someday. But with that said, that would be my pick, as Nier Automata is the JRPG that has impacted my life. With that said, thank you so much KazakTheGamingVagabond for allowing me to be in your collab. and I'm very curious to see what the others' picks are. With that said, until then, Mad Kaiser, out.
Hello there, everyone. My name is Cyrus. When Callie came and asked me, Cyrus, my brother, I'm doing a collab, I want you in on it. And he gave me the topic of what JRPG impacted me the most and why. I knew exactly what I was going to say. It's not one specific JRPG, but an entire series, known as the Legend of Heroes series. I'm not gonna come up here and say, oh, it changed my whole life or it saved my life, but on that same token, it did bring to the forefront the idea of patience, that it's okay to stop and smell the roses. Trails is very famous, or in some people's eyes, infamous, for taking their time. There will be long swaths of just exposition dumps or lore dumps, even down to the NPCs all having their own little stories that they tell as the games go along, that get updated after every main story beat. And the Sky games have more text than the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy combined. So yeah, it's a lot of reading, which is very daunting to a lot of people. But this series impacted me in a way that I really never expected anything would. It's the main reason that I even started this whole YouTube journey of mine. Without this series existing, I wouldn't be here right now talking to all of you. It became something that I was so enamored with, so passionate about, that I didn't just want to share it with people around me. I wanted to find a like-minded community and sort of build my own little community where I get to set out on my own journey, just like Estelle and Joshua. And it's because of that decision that I've met all kinds of amazing people here on this platform. All kinds of other creators that I never would have had the chance to talk to if I myself wasn't also a creator. And it's led to some pretty long-lasting friendships. I also get to enjoy their content in a way that feels a little more personal. And when you see them succeed, or doing some kind of celebration, you feel proud of their success. You feel almost as happy as they do in that moment. And one of my favorite quotes that encapsulates this whole thing: no one knows what the future will hold, but that's why its potential is infinite. Thank you so much, Callie, for having me on this collab, and I can't wait to see just what this journey has in store for all of us. Take care, everybody. Peace out.
Hey, what's good, party peeps? It's your boy, the gamersician. That is gamer plus musician. And when the big homie Callie Q reached out to me and said, hey, I need you to talk about your favorite Japanese role-playing game, I sat there and I thought, and I mulled it over and I tapped my head and I said, Suikoden 2. Final Fantasy 7? Yes. Games like Xenogears, games like Final Fantasy Tactics, games like Thousand Arms, I played them all, I loved them all. But when I think about the one game that means the most to me, Suikoden 2, it still stands as my favorite role-playing game of all time. And I'm gonna tell you why. The first thing I noticed about Suikoden 2 that I loved was how grounded it feels. It was such an impressive manner that it presented its story. It felt very mature, very adult, and I was about 12 years old when I played it, so that really spoke to me. The second thing about this game that I love is Luca Blight. I mean, he still stands as my personal favorite all-time villain in a role-playing game. I love Sephiroth, Kefka, Eve from Parasite Eve. Oh, great. But something about Luca and his brutality and just his unhinged nature. He was like Kefka version 2. Like, he just was so unhinged and didn't give a and then to have to take 3 parties and take him down, absolutely crazy. And then the game wasn't even over. And that's a great transition to talk about the gameplay. It was so fast, and to have 6 party members out of over 108 to choose from. Games at the time had 3, maybe 4 if you were lucky. It's still a trademark of the series to this day. I loved how everyone would be going all at once, and it felt like this synergy. Plus you had the one-on-one battles, you had the war battles. This game was incredible. And then also the music, the sound effects. There's something about certain tracks in this game that just, man, they resonate with you. Whenever something sad would happen, I can hear that melody. I mean, that stuff like hits you in the heart. I wouldn't say it was as powerful as other soundtracks of the era, but it did such a great job of doing what the music needed for the scene and for the characters. And overall, I just feel like Suikoden perfected the role-playing formula. The first one was great, but it was short. It was rough around the edges. Suikoden 3 kind of diverted a lot from what made the second one so great, and it tried a lot of new things that I actually loved, but it was just a different kind of game. Whereas Suikoden 2 was like the sweet spot of the whole series so far. Thank you so much for the opportunity here, Cali Q. Great channel, man. I appreciate you, and I hope that your viewership enjoys my presentation. And if you do, go ahead and hit me up on YouTube at thegamersician, also Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, all that. All right, y'all, be good. And if you haven't played Suikoden 2, do it. Peace.
Now, when I think of the JRPG that impacted me the most and left an imprint on my gamer soul, it is Grandia 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. Came out all the way back 24 years ago in 2000. This game, I don't even know where to start. I'll start with how I found this game. I was a young kid 24 years ago, going into EB Games, looked in the glass case, saw this epic looking main character with this brown spiky hair, and I thought immediately, that is my guy. That guy ended up being the protagonist of Grandia 2, and that is Ryudo himself. He is still one of the best protagonists I've ever ran into, and being a young kid at the time, I closely related to him as he didn't take no games. He said it like it was, and he stood on his business, if you will. But that wasn't the only thing about Grandia 2 that drawed me in. It was the amazing characters. It was the heavy story themes between good and evil, morality and injustice. All of these things, the character development in the game is second to none because all of these characters go through major and meaningful changes. And don't even get me started on the battle system. The battle system still remains one of the best battle systems I've ever played in a JRPG, period. And I think it is a timeless gameplay experience and a timeless gameplay battle system in my personal opinion. From the music to even the graphics to the scope of the game and to all the way to the characters, man, Grandia 2 has just always been my staple, my go-to for what I believe a JRPG should be. Character development, interesting stories, amazing battle system, and just a world and environment that I actually cared about. This game still to this day, I've bought it on every platform available. It is just a game that taught me about life, man. It taught me about there may be people out there who don't always believe in what you believe in, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and what's right is right, and what you need to do to be bigger than yourself to help other people, that is the life lesson that Grandia 2 has taught me. It's not all about just me. It's not about what I want. Sometimes it's about putting yourself there for others and helping others up when they need to be helped up. This game, yes, it taught me all of that, man. It really taught me to be a bigger man than just myself. And that's why forever I will always love Grandia 2. Not only is it a bomb gameplay experience, but it taught me some life lessons at a very, very early age. That was 24 years ago, and those lessons have still stuck with me until this very day. So my pick is Grandia 2. And I just want to thank every single content creator who jumped on this video with me. Mad Kaiser, CommRio, KazakTheGamingVagabond, Cyrus, and my man Chaos. You guys all mean a lot to me, man, and this is what the JRPG community is about, and just content creation in general. Thank you guys for blessing all these people with your amazing stories and your perspectives, and I cannot wait to do another video. Guys, let me know down in the comment section your JRPG stories, man. What is the one that impacted you the most? We want to hear it all. I want to read some paragraphs down there. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, say JRPGs for life. That way I know you a real one and you really watched the whole video. Go also check out all my family who joined me on this collaboration. That is all for this video. I'm so grateful. My heart is full right now, and I hope y'all enjoy these JRPG stories. We are out. Peace.